back to 1990 rookie year. Are you making a living with your rope your whole life? We've never talked about making money, getting up and down the road.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
I never made a living with my grass rope. I was times I had good years where I come out ahead. I did better being at home, going to the amateurs and going to the big rodeos. One year I win, which was a lot of money for me. I won $35,000 in 3 months at the amateurs and going to Cheyenne and Prescott and Winter Rock and making little runs is how I did it. I couldn't afford to go stay gone. Number one, we didn't know what it meant having a rig. I just had a steel stock trailer, and I was fortunate enough to get to do what I did. But we ranched and we were busy and helped out, and we just couldn't afford to be gone. And
but you wanted to be out there, man.
Oh yeah.
Talk
about the love of the game, though. How hard is it to go work your ass off ranching, making a buck, and then you're going to go gamble?
Yeah,
it's a gamble. You just had to love it. I mean,
it was one year. I remember I was at Salinas and I won second the first round, and I took one, and they were huge. I mean, they're cotton rosters kids. We done roped them at Reno, and they were big then. And we run one in the middle on prime time, and two-hand tied this sucker was 12-2. I remember Mark Simon, JD said, he was standing at the line, said, "Whoop, he's staying out here, boys." And this calf gets up, walks around and kicks loose. Said, "Whoop, nope, he's going home." That's how it was. There was rodeo sent more people home back then than you see now. A lot of people stay out there through the course, and I think you're supposed to, but it wasn't a situation where back then most guys couldn't afford it. They had to go home and amateur. They had to go home and do something to put their money together to get ready for Fort Worth and Denver and that stuff, for the next year. That's what you saw. You saw the numbers fall off back then so much more than they do now, which I'm glad they don't, because it's a better deal now, but yeah.
So you're just going in, you're starting off in summer run in June and just going as long as you can make it.
Pretty much, yeah. You hope you have a decent winter. There were so many guys rodeoed, and don't get me wrong, the guys that were great would probably disagree with this, but they never had to be in the guys' shoes that weren't great. Some of the guys had to say, "I'm going to rodeo until I can't win, and then I got to go home,"
Yeah.
And that's just the way it was. But it was a better deal for later on in life for me to rope steers because it fit my lifestyle.
And even making them steer open finals, it ain't 2025. They didn't pay. I don't know what the steer open pays in 2025, but the NFR round's 33,000, 20,000. It still ain't paid.
Our deal got up to 10,000. 8,500, and it pays 10 now. Got up to about 8,500 when I made them 15, 16, or 17. And you could win good enough, not great, but it was way better than the rounds paying. When Guy almost win all them gold buckles, paying. Guy would go there and win 2,500 for winning a go round.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what Roy said, all you're gonna have is a memory, baby. He said all you're gonna leave it with is a memory. So what was kind of a memory for you, rodeoing, tying that calf at Salinas in 12-2, or what's something that you remember that sticks out to you blasting these calves?
Calf roping wise, probably one year there. Like I said, I had my kids with me and they were little, and we had a great time at Cheyenne. Brady, we still got pictures. She's so lucky though. She's got a picture with Taylor Swift on the track. She come out of the bus and I was sitting to have Brady with pigtails, and she said, "Oh my God, she's so cute. Can I hold her?" I said, "Yeah, can you take a picture?" And so,
where was this at?
Cheyenne
with Taylor Swift.
Yeah, she still got the picture in her room, and then we get back to the trailer, and Roy and George are sitting there in the lawn chairs, and Brady's up in George's lap and just sitting there in his lap. Got a picture of that, and then so sometime later that week I blast one in the perf and win the second round on a big black going down through there. I was 11-1, and that was good memories. Cheyenne has always been good to me. That was good. That was good stuff. That's family stuff, and it was good stuff. And like I said, you don't have no memory. Then of course in the steer open, Roy was up there with me that day in the short round, and he come over there and looked at my steer. He goes, "Man, I like that guy. That's a good sway back." So I said, "All right, we're going to try it on." So I'm trying to get in the box, and he's telling me all these instructions. I'm like, "Roy, you got to let me in.
Hey,
you know the little gate right there." And I said, "Hey, you're going to have to let me in first before I can run this thing." And so I can still remember he had his arm around me, around my cantle, and I can feel it on the back of my bottom of my back. And he's just talking to me with a little practice run. So when I come out, he pulls his glasses down. He goes, "Man, you brought a tear to my eye." So
he went Cheyenne.
That was pretty fun in 15, yeah. And you know how it is, all the stuff you get to do up there. They parade you around and you take 20 different interviews. So it was pretty neat. My dad had won the second there. My cousin Gary won the all around there one time. So it was neat to do that.
That's
Man,
awesome.
that's something that we do as rodeo cowboys, or just doing what we do. If you go all across the country, but there's these bucket list rodeos, these rodeos that you grow up wanting to win. You got your Cheyennes, your Pendletons, your Salinas.
I call them the majors.
The majors.
I
Just
call
like
them the
golf.
majors.
Yeah, very similar to golf. I mean, you got these majors.
Think so, yeah.
And, you know, you could win 10 rodeos, but it ain't going to be nothing like getting that chance to win Cheyenne, you know. And
you take a little different approach. When you get an opportunity to win a major, I think you try to win it. I don't think you worry about just getting your checks that day. I mean, that's what I've always said. Pendleton, I've gotten fairly close, been in the short round 3 or 4 times. I sure wanted to win that one, and you know, and in San Antonio, I had a chance one time. They flagged me out for my trip. I'd have come back. I go, and I still made it on 2 and won 15,000. But yeah, those, you know, there's not everybody Scott Snedeker and Guy Allen and Trevor Brazil. Trevor wins, you know, the majors. So if you could win a major, I think you got to go for it.